Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Avro RJ100. So since we're flying in P3D, we're flying the QualityWings version of the airplane. I know there's a even higher fidelity one out now for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. Which looks amazing, but in P3D we'll still have to make do with this classic, very high level. I mean, it's an old, very old developed aircraft, but it's still, I mean, it's still better than a lot of planes out there. But of course, probably can't compete with the new Just Flight one. I have only tried the BAE 146 in P3D, and that one is really good, right? But I have upgraded the QualityWings one a bit, so you can see I've added PBR, so that adds a bit of a nicer kind of glow to it. Maybe it's a bit too much, but I think it looks okay. It kind of interacts with the environment in a way the previous one didn't. But yeah, it looks very like it's just been cleaned, basically. I think the best PBRs I've seen in P3D is the one for the PMDG 737 and yeah, for the 737, because that one is like, it's not too glossy. But yeah, we are flying for Fly UK, or specifically their Canadian subsidiary, Aurora. And we're going to be flying from Toronto, which is I guess Lester Pearson, up or north east towards Montreal to Pierre Trudeau International Airport. So just a short kind of domestic hop. I thought it would be fun. There's not a lot of virtual airlines have some of these fun, kind of different ones in their fleet. I even saw now that Fly UK is removing the MD-88 to replace it with, big shocker, A321s, which is a bit sad, I think. I think a lot of these virtual airlines are kind of just, I don't know, picking the most boring planes for all their routes. I think they could to be honest, I think they could spice it up a bit more, or even maybe keep an historical division. That's what my suggestion would be. At least then we can fly with some of the old goose, or geese, I guess is the plural for that. But until then, we'll at least the Avro RJ, to my knowledge, hasn't been retired, so that one will be possible to fly for a while longer with Fly UK. And of course you can fly it anyway, you don't have to fly it and track it, right? With any ACARS system, that's totally up to you if you want to do virtual airlines or not. I kind of like doing them because, for example, Fly UK has really nice routes and a lot of variety in their aircrafts, which I hope they'll keep, even though they seem to be moving towards more of these A350, A320, a bit boring kind of aircrafts. Even though I guess it's realistic, but yeah. Taking immersion too far. But yeah, what can we do? Not much to do out here. We have prepped with the GSX, so we can jump in. Everything should be loaded already, but we can maybe double check that it is actually loaded in the sim. And that it is, so we have everything set up in that regard. In terms of starting this plane, I think you start with battery, or maybe those you also want to do. Then the external power, and that's a good start. Now I'm a bit worried about the nav data. Okay, we seem to have somewhat new nav data. End of 23. Haven't flown this one a lot. Not as much as it deserves to be flown, to be honest. Can we hide? I can put that down at least. We'll go to nav. And let me just see if I can. What viewpoints do I have with this one? Okay, quite a few different ones actually. Not sure we need that many, but alrighty. At least we have that. In terms of getting ourselves prepared, no EFB as you can see, but you can open the window here at the back, so that's pretty cool. Don't think you can open this one though. When you press here, you get the the menu, the QualityWings control panel. So that's pretty nice. What else do we want to do? We want to put on, we don't want to have strobe on. Nav we can have on. Beacon we can wait with. No smoking sign can go on. I'm gonna fetch my bookings. Start selected flight. Yep, recording has started. Other things, we don't have any windshield effects and that sort of stuff, but that doesn't even not even the just flight. BAE 146 has that, so not a biggie. In terms of getting prepared for a flight, I think we can start the boarding as the first step, but let's just do these basic ones. When I have avionics on, I think those can all go on, because that will give us the nice CRT screens, which look really good actually. I kind of, you know, they've done a good job. This is an old add-on, but it's very nice in that regard. The only thing we also have is we have the weather radar is the, now I'm trying to remember, it's a freeware one because it doesn't have its own, but it works kind of good. It doesn't look too good here. It would have been nice with some sort of texture so you could just put the screen instead, but oh well. Small thing, not too much to worry about. I'm wondering also how this one looks on the in the front. Can you see the nose, or is it okay? You can see the nose of the plane. That's pretty cool. Not in PBR though, but so yeah, pretty well developed of an aircraft. I think it's very old actually. Can't remember exactly how old, but I'm guessing 10, 15. Between 10 to 15 years probably the first iteration. Okay, we can't test that, so there's some limitations. Let's close the window. Yes, boarding. Let's check our flight plan. We are looking at 100 packs, so we'll start with this one first. Let me see if I remember correctly the arrival and departure ICAOs, and I think I got it right. Cruise altitude 29, flight time. Yeah, it's not a long flight, so that should be fine. Let's see if we have the Avro here or the BAE. We do not. We can do this one. And how much passengers did we have? We had 100 exactly. We had Wi-Fi. No in-flight entertainment system though. I wonder how they hook up the Wi-Fi on these sort of old crafts that were released when Wi-Fi really wasn't a thing on aircrafts. We can start that. We can request boarding from GSX simultaneously, saying this space is too small for this aircraft. I don't think so. Is this too small? I think this looks exactly the right size for these kind of tiny domestic commuters. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. For some reason we don't seem to have any AIG aircraft. So I'm gonna start again. It looked a bit empty here on the air side. And we're flying from two Flight Tampa airports, so that's always nice. Look at that commercial, Air Canada. Did you hear that? It's called Silence. This is pretty good. If any one of you has watched Mad Men, I definitely think this one is better than the picture of a beach and footsteps and then clothes to the side and then the jumping off point. That wasn't the best commercial Don Draper came up with. Got people thinking of suicides, which is not something you want to do in marketing terms and not elsewhere either. So, what next? Oh, look at that. Is that the only aircraft we have? And it's leaving us? a Metrair. So we're gonna be without any aircraft here until we get the spawning of the other aircrafts. This engine looked really good actually. I think I've been able, yeah, the PBR looks actually okay-ish. Yeah, that's sometimes the PBR kind of wrecks the engine in terms of how it looks, but seems to have worked this time. I'm gonna move this so we can see a bit more of the boarding process in case we decide to jump out. Interesting placement of the cargo base. You can see we have our co-pilot and pilot inside the aircraft. That's always nice to see. We have the fuel loaded. Don't know why this is in kilos. Maybe it's always in kilos. Do we have an option for that? Let's go to initref. Index maybe. Load fuel. Okay, yeah, that's just the same. Okay, so it seems like we're stuck with kilos here, but let's see. Maybe one can change that somehow. Okay, identification, this is looking good. Position, we wanna get the right IRS one, I think. I don't think we can set the gate. This is 109. Let's have a look. Yeah, that didn't work. I don't think we can set the IRS position either, but we can do this. So it's not a bad one in any means or way. The MCDU is just an old school one. CYUL. Let's have a look at our flight plan in terms of alternates. K-boss. That's quite far away, but okay. Oh yeah, we can't put alternates in, but at least we know which one we have now. Before we move forward, some interesting things to check could be the weather. Doesn't seem like we'll have any icing issues south of us. Looks like we'll have a bit of a tailwind, so that might be good. Or should be good, definitely. What about the weather at the airport? Let's have a look. What does it say? Sigmet. Let me see. Montreal. Overcast. So we have worsening weather. Really bad worsening weather actually in terms of the overcast. So we gotta get moving fast because I'm not sure what the minimums are. We're landing at 06 left. Let's have a look. The minimums are 198. Okay, so we should be fine. But we don't wanna jinx that. In terms of the runway we're taking off from, let's actually see, have we got the more aircrafts loaded in? Still nothing. We're supposed to have a bit of aircrafts around us. 29 it says. But I can't really see anything. So I'm gonna close that, see if we can get on the third attempt. Maybe we'll be lucky with the traffic controller. I do like to see some traffic, even though it's not a lot. You can see the boarding going on. Seems like the cargo loaders are done. So we can probably close the cargo doors. Let me see, we can choose between FD style dual or single. Let's keep dual. We have paddle mode standard. I don't know what the light one does. But I guess it's a simplified version. That's connected, right? Okay, let's close all the lights. That's the easiest way. Talking about lights, what about emergency lights? We can arm those. Is there another one up here as well? Doesn't look like it. But that's fine, not the end of the world. Let's use this one to fill in the rest of the info. We are taking off from runway 05. Flight number 4003. And we can go to departure and arrival. Because we do have a star. Dead key. Let me see, dead key 5.
Passenger's bus is coming.
To Miglo. And then from Miglo we're going directly with the approach. ILS 06 left. Hub 7. Miglo transition. Now let's have a look here. It's looking good. We can activate. Not sure it's loaded correctly all the waypoints, but hopefully it's enough at least. Okay, let's see. In terms of other things, let's see if there's anything in the terms of init refs, those sort of things that we should populate. Cruise winds, for example, we have that data. Reserve fuels. 2. Yeah, we can execute that. I think that's about it, right? We do have, is it an advisory V now? I do wonder. Yeah, we probably don't want to. Let me remove that one. Yeah, we can keep that. Not sure why that one went on. The damn weather radar, but that's fine. Approach, we don't seem to have. What about V1 speeds? I think maybe this one will help us set that. The question is how. Can I choose between landing, or maybe that was the Just Flight one, where you could choose between the different. Because I don't think we have the info. Yeah, Toga max basically. We can do reduced. We'll do max. Okay, we can set the V1s here, so that's cool. That's the V1. I think that's the kilos we are at. So if we're doing an 18 degree, we're gonna have a 138. Let me see, 138, 138. Oh, sorry, 134 it should be, right? Then this one should be 138, the V2. Okay. Temp and 1 is the temp based on the weather outside. Looks like it is. Okay. Well, that's good, right? Now we have I think we can also do it here, right? If you wanna switch. I haven't actually I think this is the first time I'm actually utilizing this. So what does that tell about me? Didn't read the manual correctly, the 60 times I've flown this aircraft before. Flew it a bit on FSX. There I really liked it actually. Very well performing and just a nice aircraft generally speaking. most of the boarding is basically done. Let's have a look at what they're saying. It's basically boarding, so we can expedite the boarding.
We could expedite the boarding.
We can also...
We'll see what we can do.
Okay, we do seem
No
to have all the
promises.
pumps on. I think we can kind of start the APU. I don't think the warnings work here, right? So that's also a bit of a bugger. Put the beacon on so I don't forget. Let me see, I think you want to keep these anti-ice ons, while these ones you want to keep off. Okay, we have APU power available. So we want to put the APU gen on. We can put on galley. I can put that to off. And let me see, actually, what's the DC pump? All of that, we can wait with putting those on, actually. I think it's in a just flight you want to check if your controls are working, your flight controls. Okay, we'll disconnect the ground power. And let's talk to ADC and get everything set up. Actually, one thing I just realized, I never set up the approach on the FMC for the ILS, so let's try to do the vector. Okay, so it's gonna take us to Zulta, but we're missing the final waypoint. Don't know why it does that with some of these older add-ons. Maybe it's just not able to get the right data. Okay, 29,000. We'll connect to the sim. We'll get a pretty nice view. I think it will be the same runway we landed with when I was flying the MD 88 for Fly UK. I think we landed here on the runway as well, on the left one. Okay, let's see. Still loading. There we go.
We're ready to go when you are.
Visibility unrestricted. 4,500 broken. Temperature 12, dew point 2. Current QNH is 1021. Arriving and departing runway 05, 06 left, 06 right.
1021. So what's that? That's like 3. Let's see what they say. I'm gonna change to
3016. Arriving and departing runway 05,
3016 was the
06
altimeter.
right.
Okay, good. Let's get that set correctly. And that means the backup one is set also. I think everything is ready. We can close the doors. I only managed to close the back one. And now we're able to close that one. Okay, we need to make sure we get the right call sign on this one. Now we're flying Fly UK, right? So it's SkyWayZ. So Fly UK, we're not flying heavy. We can save. SkyWayZ 4003, ready to copy, IFR clearance. Okay, let's see what we
CYYZ
got.
4003 is cleared to Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima climb via the dead key 5 departure with the Miglo transitioned in S5. Expect departure runway 05. Climb to 8,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Toronto departure on 127.57. Squawk 6123.
SkyWayZ 4003 is cleared to Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima climb via the dead key 5 departure with the Miglo transition, then is filed. Climb to 8,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after
seems to be
departure.
working.
Toronto departure on 127.57. Squawk 6123.
Let's see how. Okay, we can zoom in a bit at least. That's good. Data, we can add that. Squawk 61.
4003 read back correct altimeter 3016. Contact Toronto ground on 121.9er when ready for pushback. Have a good morning.
Altimeter 3016 ground on 121.9er SkyWayZ 4003.
Okay, let's see, 6123. We'll put that on so we don't forget. Ah, look at that. That test worked. Brake temp, that's cool. That doesn't seem to work. Remote control. What was that? Okay. Flight deck door doesn't seem to work either. I think this one works pretty well, right? So we get nice light. We can do pushback preparation. CYYZ 4003 ready for pushback.
CYYZ 4003 pushback approved.
Pushback approved SkyWays 4003.
Still no AI aircraft. That's so weird. It's like it thinks we have a lot of AI aircraft around us, but
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
yeah, we really don't. So odd. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything I can do. Maybe if I like force.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Could just be bad luck. Sometimes it doesn't work, right? It's just the way of life. Okay, hopefully this time it will work. Okay, so we're gonna be pushed back. I'm gonna turn right, 05.
Locking gear.
We're gonna have quite a bit of a taxi. We're basically going to the runway the furthest away from us. God damn. God damn. Hot tamale. Okay, master starter on. We can start with engine 4. We do want to add, I think, let me see what I do, nose right. I think APU air at least. But otherwise it's looking correct.
Release parking brakes.
Yeah, too low.
Flaps. Too low. Flaps.
Oh yeah, it's because we have the DSX.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, all engines clear, start at will. Okay, let's see, so we'll start engine 4.
Blue 23, push tail north, call for tow.
Oh no. Oh no, now I remember. I think I need to do UPC specific profile for this one. Or do I? Wait a second. Could technically just have been me.
Insert the metal tag into the buckle and tighten by pulling on the loose end. To unfasten, simply lift up the metal flap on the buckle and pull apart. You'll find the seatbelt sign in the panel above your head. When it is on, you must fasten your seatbelt. You'll provide extensions to seatbelts for infants.
Yeah, no clue why this one isn't working. I don't remember this being an issue with
even when the sign is off.
okay, profile specific.
Jacket is underneath your seat. To use it,
CRJ, which one would work?
pass the tapes around your waist.
I think one of the ones that I have a bit of a different setup is probably the DC-10.
We will supply life cots for babies in life jackets.
So let's try this one. Yeah, that worked.
Having to make an emergency landing, you'll need to take the protective brace position
Okay.
when you hear.
Let's see if we can get that.
We will now explain how to leave the aircraft.
Okay, try number 2. Let's see if we get the engine started. We're in pre-flight taxi. I'm gonna set parking.
Confirmation for good engine start. Near the evacuation slide.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
That's the only thing I don't like about the FS UIPC. It sometimes works, but a lot of the time it doesn't work. Oh, and now we got the air traffic finally. Just took a bit of time. Let's see, we can start, I think. Third engine.
the red cone. Jump onto the slide and move away from the aircraft. If the aircraft has landed on water, these slides detach to forward rafts. As you leave the aircraft, inflate your life jacket by pulling the red tag.
I have no clue about these throttles. We'll need to check a bit.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass been removed.
And a whistle to attract attention.
Yeah, okay, now it's
Left is
working.
clear. Right is clear.
Let's pay attention to that. We'll do engine 2. They seem to be disconnecting us nicely. It's a very interesting livery, this one, very colorful. Okay, and number 2 went correctly. Let's have a look here. This looks correct. Okay, this is one thing, these are connected, right? So we don't have 2 separate ones. Okay, we can put on the weather radar. Don't think it has a terrain mode, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, you have all these different options. You can choose between gain, etc. Track. So that's pretty cool. What else? Number 1 engine, right? That's the last one. We can, runway exit light seems to have been left on. We did forget the fasten seatbelt sign. Taxi lights can go on. And let's see, yeah, they're built in to the wings and the fuselage, those lights. Looking pretty good. It's a bit of a more pointier look, this QualityWings one, compared to the Just Flight one. Just based on what I'm seeing. Let's put that one up as well.
The cabin is ready for takeoff.
Okay, cabin is ready for takeoff. We need to get taxi clearance. CYYZ 4003, ready to taxi. Any luck? Any luck? Hopefully we get the taxi clearance and it's all good. I need to try this VNav. Here we have the toga button, so that's good to be aware of.
CYYZ 4003 runway 05 taxi via Bravo 1 Sierra Echo Hotel 3 Papa Juliet hold short runways 33 right to 315 right 05.
Let's see, we're putting the flaps up.
Runway 05 taxi via
to
Bravo 1
18.
Sierra Echo Hotel 3.
You can
Papa
see them being
Juliet,
deployed here.
hold short runways 33 right 23 15 right 05 CYYZ 4003.
Can put those on. Don't think we need these. Then those. I think rammer on the ground. Then number 4. PTU was the only one we don't need to put on. Exactly. Let's see. Auto.
Okay, we'll push straight back to the circle. Reference the rouge who is going at lane 6 tail east there.
We can put these 2 off. The generators are on, so we can shut these. Same with the APU gen. Parking brake, we can release that. Looking good. No clue about.
Jordan 7323, just stand by for traffic.
That's some odd sounds. Why are we getting... There's always something that just won't work. God damn it. Why would this create any sort of noise? Let me have a look again. Maybe we just need another.
Jordan 7309, push to the circle, call for taxi.
Can we get this one calibrated? Okay, let's see. I'm guessing those. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I need to find a fix for these ones. 'Cause otherwise, we're gonna have been a lot of sounds.
Envoy 43, 3430, push tail south. Push tail south, Envoy 3430.
Can I do it again? Is it such a... Okay, let's see, what do we have if we go to the axis assignment, profile specific. I guess one thing could be to change these, the throttle set. We're now on axis, potentially that's causing the issue. So one is to change to throttle sets. It's not a clear-cut thing that it's gonna work, but it's worth a shot. Some of these have different still it wants to play that super annoying sound. Oh, that's interesting. So without the flaps then it's working, okay. God damn. I'm about to give up here. Let's go back to the... This axis was working. Don't want to change a working thing. Okay, let's see, axis. Throttles. You have a lot of options with FSUIPC, which makes it a pretty nice, or a very nice tool actually. Okay, so now that is set correctly.
7309, lane 10, hold short of Delta Romeo, contact ground, 121.9, have a good one. Lane 10, hold short of Delta Romeo, 121.9.
But yeah, for some reason the flaps one is being a pain. And I don't know why, I can't just figure it out for some reason. Without a bit of thrust.
Maple 7646, lane 9, hold short of Delta Romeo. Lane 9, hold short of Delta Romeo for 7646.
Okay, let's see if it will work now. Sorry about this, guys. If I had a clue that this would be an issue, I would have checked it beforehand. But it's always something new, right? Okay, let's get on the yellow line. We're now taxiing towards the runway. Slowly and steadily. At least we have some planes. We can see that nice Air Canada A321, I assume, 20. Very pretty, at least. And look at that, now it seems to have worked. Okay, it only seems to make some weird noise when I'm moving the throttle, so that's I guess livable. I can live with that. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Okay, we should get a clearance to pass one of the runways. Let's see if we do get that. Sometimes they're not the best at that, the ADC, unfortunately. Let me just move away that one. I got a bit worried that maybe I pressed something I shouldn't have with my FSUIPC. It shouldn't have been a problem, but you know, you have so many profiles, right? Yeah, okay, it's looking fine. Okay, nothing. We'll, I guess, just go here. It doesn't look like anyone's landing, right? So that's be fine, or should hopefully be fine. Let's see. We should put on our lights, right? But we're just gonna be quick and in and out, fast and furious. Let's turn to the left here. It's a bit fast on the taxiing. It's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It does feel like there's some thought in, or there's been thought put into the taxiing, but it's just a bit different. It doesn't really feel like you have anything stopping you. There's no friction. Basically, you're just speeding along. But yeah, it's an older add-on. Gotta keep that in mind. Okay. They're really not kidding with their taxiing. We're gonna be racing. It's gonna be a long taxi route, unfortunately. And I'm gonna remove this repaint thingy. Maybe it will save us some frames. We're still on pre-flight taxi. We were kind of okay. We were off the blocks at the time we were supposed to be off the blocks, so that's good. But let's see. Hopefully we don't run into any other problems than the weird sound screeching from the turtles. I don't think he heard it, but I can hear it very loudly. Because I have my exterior sound on my speakers. Because I don't want them in my headphones. I only want specific things in my headphones, such as the ATC. Okay, and this is the runway we're gonna be taking off from, but they want us to cross it as a first step. So we're just gonna cross it. I mean, we're speeding like crazy here, trying to get to our runway, but you know, we'll save some time doing it. So that's good. Any no calls or similar on. Doesn't seem like anyone is landing, so we'll be very quick in and out. But yeah, now I'm really following their taxi route. This is funny though, because now we're gonna be crossing a runway, and on this one we actually do have a holding point. Let's see where it's locates, coming up very soon. Yeah, just here at this runway we should be getting a clear to cross. Let's see if it works.
Skyways 4003 cross runway 15 right.
Yeah, here it worked.
Cleared to cross runway 15 right, Skyways 4003.
767 Boeing, yeah. Looked like it. FedEx delivering stuff to Toronto and probably flying. I mean, I'm trying to think, where's FedEx base? I don't know. I know UPS is, that's the Louisville one, right? But where's the FedEx one? So where would they deliver to and from Toronto? I guess it could be anywhere, but they probably have some base somewhere. Could that be Charlotte? Let me have a look actually. UPS base.
Runway 05.
Cleared to cross runway 05, Skyways 4003.
Okay, let's see. UPS, okay, I couldn't find that. Oh yeah, here, Louisville, Mohammed, FedEx, Hub, Anchorage, Fort Worth, Greensboro. Runway 15? Why did we get that crossing? That's very odd. We got it where there is no runway, but okay. Okay, we'll take that. But okay, the only one I can't, okay, Newark, Miami, Oakland, and Ontario. Ontario. Is there an Ontario International? Yeah, Puerto Rico has one. So that's San Bernardino. That's okay. And Greenboro. Don't seem to have any good one. Oh, here's someone who's probably regretted it. Yeah, some people weren't too happy with the Greenboro one. Seems like someone had tried to develop a nice one.
Lane 8, and then back over to lane 7, hold the beam 138. 8-7, hold the beam 138, or Canada 1, 702.
Yeah, seems like it was never finished. That's so sad to see all these projects that have died. Imagine people sharing them. Greenboro. Where's that located? Greenboro. Carolina? North Carolina. Okay, so pretty close to Charlotte, etc. Okay.
Skyway 4003 contact Toronto Tower on 133.4.
Tower on 133.4.
Landing lights.
Skyways 4003.
Strobe. And we are basically ready then. Armed. Skyways 4003, ready for takeoff. Okay, let's do this, guys. Let's do this.
Skyways 4003 winds are 060 at 4 knots. Runway 05 cleared for takeoff, squawk 6123.
Okay, let's drive out to the runway. And then we'll take off towards Montreal. And the thing we do want to check, one thing, I'm wondering if the TCAS system is actually working. It looks a bit dead. Could just be that we're not picking anything up. This one, I'm just gonna check quickly. Oh, we're on TARA. Maybe it is working, it's just not showing too much. That's just brightness. What about decision height? Yeah, that works. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Let's have a look behind us. Doesn't seem like anything is coming to stop us or to drive into our backside. You can see we've lost quite a bit more fuel on our right tanks. Yeah, let's push this ones up. You can hear that lovely sound. Let's see if I press toga. Is it gonna, yeah, trust. Okay, okay, we can work with this. What about VNAV?
80 knots.
Okay, it's still on trust. On LNAV. Rotate, so V1, etc. Okay, we're up in the sky. We're getting that gear up. Yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good.
Gear up.
Gear up. Shouldn't we be turning right, or what's the story here? Yeah, exactly. Want to go to Alkut. That was a bit weird. Could be the autopilot just acting up. Let's turn those runway. Go flap 0.
Skyways 4003 climb and maintain 15,000 feet, contact Toronto departure on 128.8.
We're saying bye-bye to Toronto on our way to Montreal.
Skyways 4003.
One thing we totally forgot was the trim. I think we were though in the green span.
Departure Skyways 4003
So it should have been fine.
15,000 feet.
Oh.
Skyways 4003, good morning.
Speed-wise though, we are...
Skyways 4003 slow to 250 knots or less.
Wilco Skyways 4003.
Let's change to climb thrust. Yeah, let's see if that will help us maintain 250 knots. Yeah, looking pretty good. We're getting up into the clouds. Speed is dropping, that's nice to see.
Skyways 4003 climb and maintain flight level 210, contact Toronto Center on 124.902.
Okay, thus far that's
Climb
good.
and maintain flight level 210 center on 124.902 Skyways 4003.
We're climbing a bit too slow.
Center Skyways 4003
And we're picking up speed. As a result.
Skyways 4003, good morning.
Okay, let's
Skyways
see.
4003 expedite speed reduction to 250 knots.
Wilco Skyways 4003.
210 was the new altitude we got. 210. God, I'm falling behind here. Let's put on the autopilot, see what happens. Climb max, we can keep that. We'll turn these off. I wish I had some better viewpoints for this airplane. Don't seem to have, or at least on the external side of things. I'm not a big fan of this one. Can't we do someone from like the interior, similar to the Just Flight one? Or maybe not interior, but something like this maybe. Let me see if we can get this. The problem is that I can't get it to look nice from the outside perspective. Because the goddamn fuselage is in the way. Let's see if we do. Something like this should work, right? This will work. Okay. We'll accept this. Let's see what the viewpoints are now. Yeah, okay. We can work with that. It's not the best one, but it's better than nothing. Okay, it's working quite good now with the VNav and stuff. I'm still wondering though if we really have VNav. It looks like we do. So that's good. Let me see. QualityWings Avro RJ VNav. Okay, it doesn't have IN or LPV type capability and no RMP and AMP for lateral nav. Okay, so basically same capability as 1980s era Boeing had up until they were recently retrofitted with newer FMCs. So we LNAV coupled approaches, aka a GPS RNAV approach. Okay, well that's good to know. Okay, we're starting to climb, getting above the weather. That's nice. Slow and steady. In terms of, so we want to get up to 29,000, right? Ultimately. So that's top of cruise. Okay, we still have ways to go. 200. How many nautical miles is it? 250. So it's not that far away. Unfortunately, we can't really see. Oh, here we can see the interior, but because of the overcast, we can't really see Toronto skyline, etc. That's so a tiny bit of a bummer, but oh well. Not the end of the world. then we have the maximum continuous thrust setting. So you have that tog and then climb. Not sure you want to select those, or if you can just fly with thrust and a selected speed. I guess that's not wrong either, theoretically. In terms of putting the decision height, we can already do that, right? It is 198, so 200 is perfect. In terms of the localizer, it's 1093. We can actually switch that on our hardware panel and get it selected. And we can actually do it on both R1s, just so we have it.
CYYZ 4003 contact Toronto Center on 134.25.
In terms of course selection,
134.25 Skyways 4003.
it's 057.
Climb and maintain flight level 290 Skyways 4003.
290.
Center Skyways 4003 climbing to flight level 290.
There we go. And what was it?
Skyways
057
4003, good morning.
for the course. Anything else that we need to do? There's quite a lot of switches, you can move those. Nothing super crazy, but yeah, you can move those. That one doesn't work. That one works. And that one works. Oh yeah, that's cool. Pressurization, you can. That's the landing altitude, right? So we can actually set that. It's gotta be pretty low. Question is how low? 100. 100 landing altitude. Okay, that's cool. Another thing I learned today that you can do with the Avro RJ. Okay, we seem to have a pretty slow speed selected, and I'm just wondering, is that really the VNav? Maybe I should have then set it up a bit. Okay, I guess that's climb 1. Cruise is a bit of a higher setting. But this means that we have, okay, 30 minutes to go, not that much time. Still a bit. Let's see if we can change it as we are flying. So 250, would that be possible? We can execute. That led to a change. We're now seeing increase in thrust or decrease in pitch. We are seeing decrease in pitch to reach a higher speed. That's pretty cool. It's actually a very well made aircraft in that regard. I like their art style as well for the cockpit. It's really good looking. If you compare this to their 757, I really think it's this like an upgrade, and you can really see them taking it further to the next level with the QualityWings 787. So they've really done some good job, or in plural, some good jobs throughout the years in getting better. Then of course they disappeared. Not sure what they're doing nowadays, but oh well, oh well. Could be worse. And one sad thing, actually, I'm using Rex, and I'm happy that I bought it because it's no longer on sale. They pulled it completely. So no Rex clouds anymore, or Rex weather teams. Not even for sale for FSX. And I find that a bit surprising with some of these, that they just kind of pull everything and just, you know, keep it on sale at least. But now they basically only have Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 stuff. But oh well, c'est la vie. In terms of other nice sales, nothing really that interesting. I think X-Craft is having a sale. On Sim Market at least. What was that? It's okay prices. The problem I have with is that I have the Fielder ones, and I've just heard that they aren't that much better. I mean, visually they're probably better by this point with all the upgrades. But if I ever move completely to X-Main 12, I'll definitely get the X-Craft ones. Maybe one of them and one of FPS to just kind of judge which one I like more. Hard to say, of course, right? See, I'm trying to look at AvSim for interesting topics, but there's really not that much. There haven't been like a big release. I mean, the PMDG released their 777 again. I mean, how many times are they going to release the 777s, different variants? So, I mean, it's only that much fun for a little while. Let's see now if we're going to get a higher speed setting. We are. We can change the maximum continuous thrust on that one. Not sure when we're doing VNAV if this one really makes a difference. I'm just wondering if it's more. I need to read up on that, how they kind of work together. Let's see. We have the flight plan. Yeah, looking good. Let's zoom out. Above 160 nautical miles. We are speeding up, so this now the time is down to 27 minutes. 26 minutes until we'll reach our destination. It's not a fast jet, this one, even with all these engines. It's still not a crazy fast one. It is an interesting one though, because of the kind of overwing, how we call it, the overwing fuselage design. That is a bit different. I wonder if this is helpful for working with the engines. I mean, this one is quite low, so of course you could put bigger engines on this one. Why didn't they do that? Just went with one large engine on both sides. Oh well. The $1 million question. Would have been interesting to know, right? Would a Avro RJ with 2 engines have worked? I'm trying to check, let's see. So it was designed for short runway, maybe that's why it had 4. They considered developing a 2-engine version. In fact, I'm all for them from 2000.
CYYZ 4003, contact Toronto Center on 124.67.
Center on 124.67, Skyways 4003.
Oh, the aircraft gotta be very silent, maybe that's why. Oh, and plus if one engine has problems, they can still fly with 3.
Center
Okay.
Skyways 4003 level at flight level 290.
Makes sense, I guess.
Skybase 4003, good morning.
at this airliners.net, that's an interesting forum. They're talking about buying boneyard planes. That must be very expensive. They're like, oh, if I buy a part of the cockpit of a 737, how much would that cost? Probably a lot. At least a decent amount. Pretty nice weather actually. Let's see how it looks with a bit less brightness.
Skywayz 4003 expect the Hub 7 arrival with the mid-low transition for wheels approach to runway 06 left at the Elliott Trudeau International.
Yeah, a bit of variety, but I think actually the really clear light makes it look like I have a better cloud theme than I do have. Kind of like removes the, you know, you can't be too picky on the clouds. I mean, this looks somewhat realistic-ish. Oh. God damn. So tired. Oh. Whoops, we didn't want to do that. Okay, let's see, we're soon at our top of descent. Anything else than the radius we need to prep for? I mean, guess maybe the landing one. I'm not sure how you set that in terms of the landing info. That's a good question. Approach. VNAV approach. Okay, you can't do anything here. VREF 123. Okay, well at least we know that. Yeah, ILS. Okay. We have that info at least. Is the weather radar showing anything? I guess we could technically tilt it down a bit, see if that catches anything. Doesn't look like it. What about range if we go far away? Anything? Nada. Oh, there's something. Basically nothing to be very worried about. Well, let's see once we get closer by. We can maintain this viewpoint for the exterior. Oh, and this one should have gone to standard. That was a bit of a miss on my end. Okay, let's see, we are climbing to the right altitude. Slowly and steadily. Actually, it was a release for P3D, a helicopter. Dodo Sim. Oh, some weird ad. Some weird. Sorry, not weird. The ad was weird. But yeah, a bit of a out of the blue kind of release. May 3. Yeah. So that's cool. Free for the community. I'm not a big oh, Helisimmer. Maybe they have some cool ones if you're really into like helicopter flying, aerofly, etc. I don't do helicopters, I just don't find them as interesting. More military in that case, right? Apaches, etc. The MiGs. But that's about the extent of it from my own end. Okay, let's see. Soon at top of the descent. Let's zoom in a bit, just so we can see it a bit clearer. Oh, and there's a new Pope elected, American Pope, Robert Prevost. That's an interesting one. Yeah, not that much else in news. Always the same kind of things. Oh, it's been for a while now. I guess the new thing was the India thing with Pakistan, but that doesn't seem to have really moved too much. Just a bit of brawling. Of course, unfortunate when it's very unfortunate when it ends in lives being taken, but yeah, that's about it in terms of new things. Okay, let's see. We are talking about top of descent, which we have now reached. But we haven't got a descent clearance yet. We have 120 nautical miles to go. It's pretty straight in, so that's nice at least. We don't have to do any twists and turns. 50 minutes left according to the info I can see. In terms of the VNAV, let's look at the descent path. Can't we keep a higher TGT? Yeah, that should be fine. We have some nasty weather, but I'm not sure how far. We're 160. Let's go to 80 and see how far away it is. Yeah, it's changing. So if this is 80, it's here. There it seems to be clear. Yeah, let's pay a bit of attention to that one. Still no new descent clearance or similar, for better or worse. Just maintain 29,000, altimeter 3018. Okay, okay. Oh, Trump is gonna decrease the customs on Chinese goods. My God, so much for the great negotiator. Hopefully we'll get a return to status quo. Don't like seeing my stock being hurt by not thought through decisions. Okay, let's see. Okay, what do we have? We're now basically at our top of descent, and we still haven't gotten any. We're just gonna expect. So I'm gonna ask for descent clearance. Skyways 4003. Request flight level 110.
Skyways 4003, descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet, Skyways 4003.
Okay, we are descending. We've changed it to 40 now. It feels a bit, yes, drag required, but we're gonna be fine. I have no fear that we won't be fine. We have 195 nautical miles to go. We'll be able to get down from 28,000. Shouldn't be any problem. Okay, we are descending. I think I'm gonna go to bed after this flight. It was a bit of a later one than I had anticipated. Had to handle some fires at work. Okay, let's see, we are descending. It's looking pretty good. Looks like there's a bit of nasty weather there right in front of us. Specifically this area. We have 80 nautical miles left, so not that much. About 12 minutes to go. Should go relatively quickly. Whilst we are descending, I'm gonna go and get some water quickly. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see. We are descending, looking good. Let's zoom in a bit with that one. Oh, this one went on automatically. That's nice. Here you can see that it's an old one, right? They haven't bothered not making it a 2D one. Those kind of things I don't get when they have like a mix. Could it been like polygon amount, etc.? Like there's a limit, so they had to simplify certain things? Or just because people didn't expect the same quality back then, I guess. Could maybe run it. Okay, weather, it's only yellow, so we should be fine, we can fly through it. Well, it looks a bit cool, right? You can basically see exactly where it starts. And it almost aligns with this one. Okay, time to go, 10 minutes. So this is slow and steady. We still haven't been handed over to approach, for better or worse. I think we're flying kind of the border of USA and Canada. I don't think we crossed it at a single time during the whole flight, so that's pretty cool. So there's some discussion about chase plane being unusable for P3D, but seems to be related to some new Windows update. It seems like some people have it working. It's so weird with computers, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? Yeah, look, we can finally see the ground a bit. Getting use of that photoreal. All those terabytes of data. Yeah, coming up there. Okay, almost at 11,000. I'm hoping we get further descent clearances. We are about 50 nautical miles away, so we really need to get them soon if we're gonna make this. I'm actually gonna add the speed brake now. And the speed brake is of course that one. And apparently you're supposed to deploy it before you land. So I'm gonna try that today actually. But I'm not sure how it's gonna work, to be frank. Oh, we're really... Okay, maybe we didn't want to deploy it completely. Maybe just a tiny bit, right? I wonder why not more airplanes have these sort of speed brakes. Could that be a working thing? Instead of having them... I guess it's an additional component, but then you wouldn't need to have speed brakes at all on the wings. You know, maybe the wings could be lighter. Something to think about. Hard to know, of course, without having all the details. Okay, we're way too high. We need to descend a lot. I'm gonna add a much lower speed. CYYZ 4003, request flight level 030.
CYYZ Skyways 4003
Okay.
descend and maintain 3000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet Skyways 4003.
That should help a bit. Are we descending fast enough? Doesn't definitely look like we are. Okay, now maybe we can descend. Quickly enough. We have 38 nautical miles to make this. Let's hope we can. I'm gonna add a bit more. The more the merrier. We're gonna be at 10,000 feet, so landing lights can go back on. We didn't do anything with the seatbelt sign, I just realized, so I guess the passengers has been locked down since we started this flight. For better or worse. Let's change to this view again. Okay, we can zoom in one more time. And one more time. Okay, we're below 10,000. We should be at 4,800 now, and we're at 9,000, so we're quite a bit higher. Do we have a prog page to check that? Don't think so. But I think we can make this. We should be at 3,000 at Sulta, and that's 21 nautical miles to go. I think we can do it. Maybe we can slow down a bit more. Can't hurt at least to get the thrust down. Okay, 7,000 feet. I wonder if the weather has gotten worse now. We're below 18,000, so we should actually change the altimeter. Skyways 4003. Say altimeter.
Skyways 4003 altimeter 30 minute.
Altimeter 3018 Skyways 4003.
Okay, there we go, 3018. I think we can make it down to 3,000, hopefully. Let's see if that's the correct 3,000, right? That's at the Zulta or Exalta. God, not sure how to pronounce that one. Yeah, 3,000 feet, that's what we want to be at. And we are starting to break through. I'm seeing a bit of rain. So let's see if we get to use our non-working wipers. You should be able to see it here when we break through the clouds a bit. I saw a bit of those raindrops. Okay, we're at 5,000 now. It's going pretty well actually now in terms of our descent. So I'm actually gonna remove the speed brakes. Save them from wear and tear. Guess these are the maximum for the different flap levels. Let's try to do as much manual as possible, but let's see. Okay, we're now at 4,000 feet, still no ground. Can we even see it from the outside perspective? Nada. We can put on the runway exit lights, so I don't forget to do that. There's no arm for the spoilers, so I guess we'll use them on descent. In terms of our landing, how was the veer of like 120, 121, and I think 124, 121. Okay, 121 is good enough. I'll go flaps full. I'm a bit intrigued about how we're not dropping off faster in terms of speed, but oh well. Let's see, I want to be at 240. I think 190 is a pretty good speed to keep. We have 6 minutes to go before we're at the airport. Nothing on the weather radars, that's good. Maybe the tilt is a bit too much. -1 maybe we can do. We can also zoom this one in. 5 should be good enough. And then we wanna also, of course, arm approach. And let's see if we start catching any signal yet, or soon enough. Anything else to do? I think we have everything kind of set up for a try at landing at least. Let's see if we can get a good viewpoint. I guess this would be... I guess it would be higher if you're a taller person. Okay, still nothing.
Skyways 4003 or 18 nautical miles southwest of the airport. Altimeter 30 cleared
17 nautical miles.
06 left at the Elliott Trudeau International Airport.
Okay, we've been cleared to the ILS approach.
Cleared for the ILS approach to runway 06 left at Pierre
we have the
Elliott
right
Trudeau
altimeter.
International Airport, Skyways 4003.
Skyways 4003 altimeter 30 at the Elliott Trudeau International Airport. Contact Montreal Tower on 118.9.
Altimeter 3018 tower on 118.9er, Skyways 4003. Tower Skyways 4003 inbound for ILS approach runway 06 left.
Skyways 4003, good morning. Continue ILS to runway 06 left, call when established on final.
Continue ILS runway 06 left, will call when established on final, Skyways 4003.
Canada 452, contact departure 1280.
2080, Canada 452.
Okay, we are turning. Localizer seems to be on. All is good so far. Let's wait until we start. I'll slow down a bit. Let's see, localizer but no glide slope as of yet. Maybe we're a bit too far away for that to be. We're still 12 nautical miles from the airport, so we have some ways to go.
Towers Bravo, November Sierra, over QRX for 24 left. Oscar Bravo, November Sierra, Tower Winds Comp, search land on my 24 left.
Is this, what's that? There's some click spot here. Oh, it's only to open these ones. They remind me of the 737, the classics, not the Jurassics, but the classics have a similar setup. Not all of them, but I think you can choose between the analog and the non-analog one. Okay, now we have the glide slope, and we can see ourselves descending. I'm gonna add flaps. I'm gonna slow down a bit more. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take control of the thrust levers, and we'll let the plane descend for us, following the glide slope. I think we are gonna want to get down the gears. So that's gonna create drag. We can then go to flaps 24. Lights on. What about rain? Can we see any rain? I can't see anything, so maybe it's not raining. Let's see. Okay, we are flying relatively slow. We can maybe add a bit of thrust. while we go to flaps full. We're about 5 nautical miles. We're starting to get below the weather. Doesn't look like there's any rain. A bit of a weird way to follow. You would think they would be a bit clearer. Well, maybe it's just this is basically what you have, but I would want to see the localizer, etc. Okay, we're getting the landing checklist. Yeah, autopilot off. Okay, let's see, we're a bit to the left of it, it feels like. We can add a bit of thrust actually. We're going very slow, we're almost at our VRF speeds. Quite early. Okay, so 06 left. And the funny part is that they will want us to add the speed brake once before we land. We wanna deploy the speed brake, so that's an interesting one. Okay, let's add more thrust. But yeah, looking pretty good.
Skyways 4003 winds
Actually looks
are
very nice.
065 at 8 knots. Cleared to land runway 06 left.
Okay,
Clear to land
left.
runway 06 left, Skyways 4003.
Adding more thrust. Yeah, let's see. Now we're coming down. I'm gonna start adding full speed brakes. We don't notice too much of a actually. That was a bit surprising. 500.
Anchor 3259, I'm Sarah, good morning, runway 30, wind 2709, altimeter 29er77, clear to land, runway 30.
Why can't we see any puppies? God, that sounds that always sounds wrong. Puppies. It's been destroyed by all these TikTok trends. I guess there's a difference between a puppy and a puppy. Okay, let's see. 10. Okay, we're retard. Yeah, buddy. Get that nose down.
Just 226, Denton Tower, good morning, runway 30, wind 2709, altimeter 29er78, clear to land, runway 30.
There we go. Welcome to Pierre Trudeau,
Skyways
Montreal Airport.
4003 exit runway when able. Report clear of active.
Okay, we can turn here. I think that should be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Montreal. The local time is 11:59.
So there we go.
And it's currently about 8 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft is come
Let's
to a
turn.
stop.
We managed to make it. After all our little hiccups, we are finally getting somewhere. And we got landing clearance even though I didn't say established on final. That's good. Skyways 4003, ready to taxi. No rain as well.
Skyways 4003 contact Montreal ground on 121.0
No need for
taxi
strobes.
clearance.
Ground on 121.0 for taxi.
Now let's just taxi
Skyways
so we can
4003.
get close this down. I wanna go sleepy sleep. Skyways 4003, ready to taxi. Now it definitely worked because it frees my whole.
Skyways 4003 taxi to gate Bravo Tree 5 via taxiway Echo.
Bravo
Taxi to gate Bravo
35.
35 via taxiway Echo. Skyways 4003.
And which one is 35? So maybe there is a. Maybe we can do 32. And now it's there. Well, which one is here? 19. Oh, it's 19 they want us to go to. Okay. So 19 it is. So Bravo, 19. Request follow me. How about new? Oh, we don't wanna go off the yellow line. Easier said than done, of course, but... Okay, APU... Wait. I thought we got the APU started. Okay, now we're... I must have misclicked it somehow. Okay. No one else was coming in to land, right? Well, I hope so. Thought we were gonna get a clearance to pass the runway, but it seems like there is no identifying factor for that. Oh well, not biggie. I really liked Toronto, but I'm starting to like the Montreal airport a lot. It's simpler, but also looks very nice in some way. So it's a really nice airport by Flight Tampa. I really think though none of these airports, I mean, the best Flight Tampa ones, by far the ones I've tried are, of course, Amsterdam. That's a really nice one. But I would say Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Las Vegas, and I'm trying to think what else. I don't have a lot of the Flight Tampa ones. I'm missing a lot of them, of course, but of the ones I have, those are, I think, the best ones. I'm trying to think that I'm not forgetting any one of those, but on top of my head, Boston, right? Did I say Boston? I hope I said Boston. Yeah, Boston, Las Vegas. Those are definitely in North America, and then Copenhagen, Amsterdam in Europe. I want to get Kaitak at some point. Just haven't had time yet. And I would honestly want to fly like a real old 747 to Kaitak. Yeah, we'll stop here. So it sucks that Just Flight never released their classic 747 for P3D. So much missed opportunities, man. Sucks. But such is life. You don't get everything in life. You get a few things. And you have to be content with what you have. Okay, we're shutting everything. I'll open the door. We're post-flight on the block, so I'm gonna stop recording. We can submit. The only sucky part is that they don't give you a landing rate. Otherwise, I really like their system. It's very clean. Fly UK is one of my favorite virtual airlines. Okay, deboarding and flight 121. Pretty good. Let's close the front door and let's just watch the replay and then we'll wrap up. Okay, 360 I think will be the right. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so the speed brakes are deployed, but no. Oh, now they are coming. Are they coming down? Yeah, the flaps also. That's nice. So the replay function is working pretty nicely. And the light seems to be on. Yeah, this is a beautiful. I like the MD-88 livery more. That's why it sucks that they're removing that one. If I had to choose, I would rather remove this one. I do prefer the MD-80. I mean, if they had the 146, maybe I think the Just Flight one could make a cause for it, or yeah, make a case for it. Not a cause, make a case for itself. I should have crabbed a bit. Yeah, pretty nice actually, the effects. Almost X-Plane-wise, how this one worked with the sim. Very nice actually. It is a nice plane, the QualityWings one, or QualityWings one. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's so many good planes, right? And then these, let's call them older. That doesn't really have anything that special about them. Specifically, if you have the Just Flight 146, then they kind of, you don't fly them as much. But it's a really good one, and for the price, it's impeccable. It's probably the best value for money. What is it, like $15? It's amazing. So do get it if you don't have it in your library. But yeah, that was it. Enough of my shit talking. I will let's see when I'll do the next flight. I'll be out this weekend, but feel free to leave any comments for what kind of flights you want me to do next week. But thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye bye.